Today's mobility and handstand workout is filmed from vacation. I'm on holiday at my mum and stepdad's place up in northern New South Wales at a place called Bellingen. I've got this beautiful backdrop here behind me. I'm going to head on up to their balcony now and get into my workout. You have to excuse me if the picture's a little bit washed out, but I've got all the light behind me, so I have to increase the exposure or else I look really dark. Now, because I was on a train yesterday for quite a while, my back's just a little bit stiff and sore. This is a really good exercise for lower back stiffness. So you're basically just interlocking your legs like this and then just rocking back and forth. And for me, I've got spondylolisthesis and a pars fracture in L4 and L5, and it just causes everything to stiffen up. And this is an exercise that I was shown by a chiropractor friend of mine, and this one as well. So you're just pulling your knees back. And you're doing it very gently. You're not actually using your hip flexors or abs to create this movement. And all it's doing is it's just creating a sensation and a little bit of movement in the lumbar vertebra that helps the nervous system to just relax the muscles and release some of the tension, which is really what goes on. It's what causes so much of the tension that we feel. It's just the nervous system trying to protect the body from a perceived threat. And so we're really just training the nervous system to not do that, to just let go and relax the muscles a bit. Now, another big part of lower back pain and lower back issues that you'll be familiar with is hip flexor tightness. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I should say if you've got an anterior pelvic tilt and you've got spondylolisthesis like I've got, you might be familiar with hip flexor tightness, because those are, funnily enough, it's a symptom and also a cause of anterior pelvic tilt. So I always, like my minimum movement for a day, if I do nothing else in a day, I'll do what I'm doing right now, because this is the part of my body that really, it just prevents me from being able to get through my day. Like if I just want to walk around and enjoy myself, that tightness in the lower back and the tightness in the hip flexors is really what prevents me from being able to do that. So on a vacation like this, and I just want to do my minimum amount of movement, this is what I start with. Okay, just some gentle stretching. And now I'll just move into a hip opener routine. So I always start my squatting just with sitting down like this and just feeling the position. Part of the reason why people can't squat is because they don't do it. So just by sitting here, feeling the position for at least just a few seconds every day is enough to prevent you from losing it. So I just sit here for a little bit, and now I'll move into my actual squat hip opener routine, where I'm going to try and get this elbow down to the ground. So I'm opening up that side of my body, and then I'm just going to push my knee out a few times here, just to open up those hips. And then what you can do as well is you can actually contract the glutes. So you're also creating an end range contraction. Okay, and then I can get into the ankle a little bit. And then a bit of internal rotation, and then back out. And then change sides. And if you can't do this, just put something under your heels. That'll make it a lot easier for you. So if you elevate your heels by an inch or two, okay, and then I contract my glutes. But the idea is, we've all got different parts of our body that are tight. We've all got different parts of our body that need more work than others. And so I know what those parts of my body are, and I know what I need to do to make sure that I can live a pain-free life. People often ask me, what do you do to be able to live with spondylolisthesis and a pars fracture and not be in pain. And this is a big part of it. It's this like minimum amount of movement that I do every day. And this one again is for the hip flexors. Now this one's for the lumbar spine. So hip flexors and quadriceps here. So this is a really tight part of my body. My brother Yanni has way more flexible hip flexors than I do. And when he does movements like this, he can really get his hips up and not have this angle. I can do it once I've warmed up, but it's not something that comes easy for me. And then I do a bit of 360 hip mobility. This is such a good movement for so many different areas of the body. And there's different versions of this. You know, there's a version that we do for beginners or for people that are new to this in our UMS. And this is my version of it, you know, because I've been doing this stuff for a while, so my version looks different to a beginner's version. But it's this feeling of just moving through this full range of motion, really pushing through the end ranges, getting rotation and movement, so we're not standing still and doing stretches, we're moving through all these different positions. Oh, whoops. And then I'll just do just a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So a good way to just warm up your hamstrings when you're just doing a basic movement session like this is just to bend the knees and then straighten them like this. And then if you have the strength and the ability to access it, it's a good opportunity to just practice a tiny bit of compression strength. So just going right up on the toes and transitioning the weight to the hands. And you can hear in my voice, I'm getting a little bit out of breath from this. That's the idea. It's this gentle mobility that this isn't a routine that leaves me feeling sore. On the contrary, it leaves me feeling better than when I started it. But it also warms me up. My heart rate's elevated now. Blood's pumping right through to my extremities, down my arms, into my hands, into my feet, which is all the markers of a good warm-up. And it's getting me ready for my minimum workout today. You know, being on a vacation, I'm not going to push myself. I'm not going to try and... I was contemplating going to the gym, the local gym, and getting in there and doing a proper workout. And I just thought, you know what? I haven't had a vacation in so long. I'm just going to do something just fun, something that just makes me feel good and just gets me up. So in preparation for my handstands, I'll just do a little bit of first knuckle push-ups. And this is going to be fun because I'm doing handstands on... I was looking around my mum's house for some flat ground to be able to do some handstands, but also somewhere where I can film. And honestly, the best spot I've found is this balcony. So I'm going to be having my hands going over these cracks. We'll see how that goes. And then just a little bit of a warm-up for my arms. And for handstands, you really want to pull into flexion and then rotate. You want to avoid pulling where you arch your back because that's not what you want to do in a handstand. In a handstand, you want to get your arms up without arching your back. Okay. And I'll come around. All right. juicy big March fly hovering around me, trying to suck my blood. Whew. That'll do for my first round. I haven't actually practiced handstands for a week and a half now because I got sick and I was only doing minimal exercise while I was sick, and for the past week I just focused on my strength training and a little bit of flexibility. I didn't do any handstand work. So here I am. I wish you guys could see the view that I've got here. Maybe at the end of this video I'll film the view where I adjust the white balance so you can see it. It's absolutely stunning. It's such a beautiful spot up here. Actually, you know what? With the magic of video editing, I think I can actually show you the view right now. So check out that view. This is where my brother and I grew up. We're bush kids, and it is one of the most beautiful places in Australia. It's very warm, but it's not as hot as Queensland, which is up north in Australia. Of course, being in the southern hemisphere, the further north we go, the hotter it gets. I know for you guys up in the northern hemisphere, you're used to north equaling cold. That's not how it is here. So while I'm doing these middle splits, I'm just contracting my glutes and quads hard at end range, just to strengthen those muscles at end range, which is a really big part of middle splits training. And I'm not pushing myself, you know, it's just about exploring that end range, what you've got to keep progressing, keep moving forward. Okay, let's turn this timer off and have a go at round 2. Let's see if this works better. My hand position. This is the journey with hand balancing. Lots of falling and losing your balance. Oh, come on. One more try. Okay. So now I'll just do some kick-ups, just so that I still get a little bit of training in. Whew. I think a big mistake that I used to make with handstands was just constantly chasing the hold without doing any work on a wall. And if you watch my daily videos, you'd know that every second day I do face to wall handstands to work on that line. And then if you just keep kicking up and you never actually get any hold time, you're never actually getting better at the handstand. You're never actually training it. And so on a set like that, where, you know, I'd given it a few tries, couldn't get past 8 or 10 seconds, so then I can just regress to just doing some kick-ups, where the goal is just to bring the feet together, get as close to a straight line as I can, and then back down. And that's a really good drill to develop a skill or a part of a handstand. So it's about really understanding where you're at on your handstand journey and making sure that you do things that actually give you volume of handstands and handstand skills to get you better, rather than just kicking up and flailing around and getting these banana back holds. And of course everybody wants that handstand that just looks beautiful and straight every time, or wants to be able to just hold a handstand for 20 seconds. But you've got to do the work. You've got to get the volume. Oh, it's getting warm now. It's 10:30 a.m. and it rained pretty decently this morning, so the ground's all wet, and now the sun's coming out in late summer and it is warming up. I think I'm going to go out to a river for a swim later today or tomorrow. There is the most beautiful freshwater rivers around here. If I get out there, maybe I'll bring the camera and film myself so you guys can see it. It's gorgeous. Okay, how do I turn this off? There we go. Alright. I think maybe I did better when my hands were like this. Come on. Okay, come on. Ah, come on. Oh, I'm not feeling it today. All right. Okay. Whew. Definitely not feeling it today. I didn't get to sleep until midnight last night. My train arrived here at 11 p.m, which is way past my normal bedtime. I normally go to sleep at 9, so not feeling the best today, but that's okay. I think this is a big lesson for a lot of people to learn. I learned it way too late. Every day can't be your best days with working out. This is not how it works. You have good days, you have bad days. And this is definitely not my best effort for handstands that I've had this year. That's okay. It's all right. We have those workouts where it doesn't all come together exactly the way that you intend it to, you know? I'm really warm, so it's a good opportunity to just do some gentle stretching, like what I'm doing. I'm not pushing myself at all. You can hear in my voice that I'm not straining, but I'm still, you know, teasing my available range. I'm, you know, getting there. I'm not trying to go past it. And when you add up these workouts, doing like a minimum workout like this is my deload day as well, by the way. So Friday and Saturday I deload from strength training. And so I planned my week and my vacation around that. That might seem excessive to you, but I did, so that if I don't do any strength training today and tomorrow, that's okay, because normally I'd be doing a deload day anyway, so which means that, you know, the way that I get my volume to keep pushing, to keep developing strength and building muscle, that comes from Monday to Thursday. And Friday and Saturday are just deload days where I'm just recovering. That was good. I'll take it. Something else that's a really good thing to help with your flexibility, you practice sitting up straight, lifting your legs and going as wide as you can. See how close you can get to the splits, because that's, you know, creating that active movement into the splits. Good thing about this floor, I can dig my fingers in and pull myself forward like this. See, now I'm pushing myself a little bit. And the reason I'm doing it now is because I'm really nicely warmed up now. My body is really warm. I've done a warm up, I've done several sets of stretching already. My heart rate's up, I'm sweating. So now it's safe to push a little bit, you know, with my range. That's my brother calling me to ask me something about business. All right. Whew. Okay, let's get on to this last round. All right. Oh, that was a good stretch. Oh, I think that'll do me. That was a good little session. I've done some good movement today now, so even if I do nothing else, I've explored my available range. I've developed a bit more strength in my handstand, got my heart rate up, got everything moving. So that's it. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's workout. I'll be doing another one like this up here on my vacation.